Hi, how was the weekend? Did you have a good time? Okay, I think we got it. All right. Oh, sorry. I got a dog under my desk. Hello. All right, and I got. Did that help? No. No. I was doing good there for a minute. Okay, hang on a second. Is that? Oh. Slow through. I understand that. All right. Well, that seems a little better. All right. No. I have my lantern. I've been trying to figure out the Paul Revere. To try to figure out how to make more light to be here. So I don't look so in the dark. But all right, that'll work. Okay. Hello. Okay. So, oh my goodness, there's a lot that is going on. So we have Halloween coming, right? So today is Monday. Halloween is Thursday. The new moon is Friday. And then we have daylight savings time on Saturday. So there is a lot of things that are shifting along. Plus, Pluto is moving again. Pluto is changing signs. And so we know, first of all, we know Pluto is a slow mover, but Pluto is like, what do we want to say? Pluto is a slow mover who moves a lot. So, if you watch Dune, the movie Dune, or some of the Mandalorian, where they talk about they have these storylines where they have you can't see it on my Facebook, but here, look, there you can see my little pumpkin up there. There. That's so weird. It's backwards on. So anyway, there's my little pumpkin. I had a ghost, but he fell down. Pluto is like those earth sand worms that they burrow through, and you can feel it coming, and you can see it moving the earth like a long way away. And it takes a long time for it to get to you because Pluto is slow. Pluto moves very slow. Can I put this here? So Pluto is, that's interesting. Pluto is very slow. I'm still playing with it. Not to come crashing down. Maybe better. Okay, so Pluto is slow. So Pluto is moving through to, I believe, Aquarius. And Pluto brings up a lot of stuff that, kind of like retrograde, but it brings back a lot of stuff from your past that might need to be healed, or places where you have maybe been procrastinating. Pluto is not a fan of procrastination, so which is hilarious because Pluto is so slow. But if you've got some stuff that you've been saying, like, I gotta get shit done, this is a good time for that. But it's a rumbler. And so when Pluto comes back around, and remember that Pluto has not been in our part of the solar system where we could feel any effects from Pluto since long before any of us were alive. So it is not anything any of us have ever felt before, even though astrologists and astronomers are aware. So it's important that you're paying attention, especially so as we're coming right now to the end of the moon cycle. We're coming down, the energy is down. I don't know about you all, but I felt super tired this morning when I woke up. And Chris is saying that she slept through most of the weekend. So a lot of that comes from that that drain that comes because we had a really busy full moon. This last full moon was a real busy one, and there's a lot of planetary movement. There's also, we're into the season of like the aurora borealis. You might have been seeing a lot of that in the news, and depending on where you live, so there's a lot of solar activity that's going on right now as well. So all of these things can feel very draining and heavy as we're coming down the circle to the bottom, right? We talk about this cycle of the full moons at the top and the new moons at the bottom. I don't really know if that's helping at all. I guess it's helping a little. And so the new moon is at the bottom, and all right, it seems to think you were working. So it can make us feel tired and drained as we get down into that time period before the next cycle starts. So the next new moon is going to be on Friday, and so we want to make sure, like right now. So I've been taking a lot of time over the last week or so to just clear the decks, because we all have those projects that have been sitting, right? They're, like someday I'm going to get to, like they're just sitting, right? And so this is the time where we really want to come forward and say, I need to get this thing finished finally. Like, what is the thing that you need to get finished finally? So these are the things that Pluto and this moon cycle is talking about. So, and that is not, Chris Judd, that is general. That's not anything based on our previous conversation at all. So right now, where the moon card that I pulled is the moonflower, and it says take a risk. And I love this because, first of all, you've got the moon is wearing what looks like morning glories, and I think that's really interesting. What I also think is interesting is you've got here this sort of terrain that looks very moon-like, and then you have what is clearly a moon. So it's like, well, where are we that we're looking at this moon? So are we like somewhere we've not been before? And I think that that's really important, that we're coming into a time, and for those of you who are watching the politics, we know that we are coming into the very end of the American election cycle. Thank the Lord. Thank God. Thank Goddess. Thank all of them, because I don't know about you, but it's, starting to get a little tiresome. And so the American election is going to be a week from tomorrow. So as the energy is ramping up, right? So there's a lot right now where we're being asked to, what have you been pretending not to see? What have you been procrastinating about? What have you been putting to the side? Like, so for me, I know you can't see, but on my desk, over here I have my cards, and then there's 2 piles of papers. And I know exactly what's in each pile. So, I mean, my desk is not always like the most clean or tidy, but I know exactly what's on it. And so in the one pile, it's all of those longer term projects that are like, these are papers that are going to be, maybe it's something I bought that hasn't arrived yet, or it's a class that I'm taking that I haven't gotten the certification for yet, or, what have you. So there are things that, where was I going with that? We know that there are things that are pending. We know that there are things that are coming, or things that we're working on or working through, or perhaps they have not finished yet, or perhaps they're things that are coming. They haven't arrived yet. So I also keep in that pile some information about tools I know I'm going to need in the future. Apps and whatever, vendors, things like that. So these are things that are sort of pending. And so it's a good idea to look through some of that and say, hey, what can I clear off? Like, am I really ever going to call that guy or that person? Like, I might, okay, they go back in the pile and with the note. And maybe if they're not, then okay, go out. Because you know what? When I get to that point, I'll find something else that will be like more timely. For example, I just had this great example to share with you, and it just went right out of my head. So that happened. All right, well, let's keep moving. So there was something that was going to be like that. There was something I had saved, and I was like, when I'm ready to come back to this, I'm sure there'll be something more timely, more advanced, more whatever. So like it didn't, sometimes we save things because we think we're going to use them maybe down the road. But when you look at it, it's like, oh, there is likely something better because technology has advanced, or maybe the people moved away, or maybe you don't want to do that thing anymore. Oh, books, that's what it was books. So that's what it was, thank you, it was books. So if you're like me, I'm a big reader, and so I have a file in my emails that is like things I'm going to read later. I don't need to really worry about them right now. And that happens when somebody sends me something about a book, and like a new book that's coming or a great book that they read, and I put that in and I just pop it in that list of emails. And so my email list goes getting all full up of just like, oh, good book, good whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. So I went onto Amazon Books or whatever your book place is, and when you get a Kindle book, I don't know about other formats, but if you get the book, if you go to the Kindle format, most books you can download a sample, and that way you don't have to buy the whole book. So you download a sample, because I don't want to spend $10, $15 or whatever about a book if I don't know that I really want to read it. And yes, it is okay not to finish a book. It is totally okay to read a book, decide that this isn't for you, and let it go. Okay, that's okay. You don't have to be obligated to finish the book. It's not vegetables. You're also not 5. Okay, so I feel like I have to say that because I think sometimes we get in this place where we're like, I have to finish what I started. I'm like, no. So I'll download the sample, because then what happens is, like, I have a trip coming up and I'm going to go to the airport and I'm going to be like, oh, I want something to read. Well, I don't want to buy a book at the airport. I'm just going to look at my Kindle and be like, oh, let me read this sample. And if I like it, now I can buy the book now that I'm ready to buy it. Or I say, oh, I read the sample and I'm going to delete it because I don't want to read the book. So, but I got it all out of my email, so now it's sitting in my Kindle app where it can actually have a prayer of being read someday. So, and I love that, because I love that feeling of being like, oh, I'm ready for the next book. And so then I can just go in there and say, well, let me look at all these samples and see what's calling to me, and be like, oh, I want to read that. And so then I can read the sample, and that way you're holding things in a more productive way, and, take a risk, check out a book that maybe you didn't know about before, or, see something new, whatever your jam is, okay? So I just wanted to share a couple of like that stuff, because it seems like it's fluff, but I think we can get so caught up in like the pile of stuff that is, I'm going to get to that. That's in my, I'm going to get to it pile. And so where Pluto is right now is in this time of like clearing the space, because the thing is that we can't welcome in the other things. There's not room, let me say it this way, there's not room for anything else on my desk. It's not really the truth, but let me just say it that way. There's not room for anything else on my desk, which means the universe can't bring me anything new or any new blessings until I clear some of the stuff out. And so we've talked about this before, where we have to we have this opportunity to say, what can I let go of? What can I release? Either I'm going to finish it, build it, I'm going to set aside the time to really work on that project, or I'm going to let it go, because I can't. I'm blocking up the hose of energy coming to me and new opportunities coming to me, because I'm so like holding on to these things that I'm never gonna, like, I don't know. So let me look. Okay, so. Okay, so I did that today. I did that. I gotta call that guy. And so all of this stuff is now suddenly becomes relevant. And also I can look through this and go, okay, I handled most of this. But then again, there may be some vendors in here that I'm like, oh, I'm probably never going to do that. Like, the chances are we're probably not going to change when we remodel our bathroom to put it into like a walk-in bathtub, because that's probably not going to happen. So where are you holding on to things? Okay, so here, let me say this, Chris, because I know I have like a couple hundred books in my Kindle also. But what I will do is I will only have the things in the download that I'm actively reading. Hi, Shwana. So, excuse me. So I have, because it can be very overwhelming. And so if I have let's say I'm reading, because sometimes I'm reading more than one thing at a time. So if I have the thing I'm reading or the sample I just downloaded, those would be in the download. So really, I may have several hundred books in my Kindle, but only like 5 or 10 are in my downloaded section, so that if I'm done, I can put it back into the library. It doesn't have to be in my downloaded area. So it helps to reduce the clutter. And so when I want to see something, then I can look at the whole library and say, okay, what's speaking to me? What do I want to, I got a sample of that. Let me read that. And then I can download. So it helps us to be more organized. And that way we're only having to focus, hey, little yipper, on what we really need to focus on right now. Okay, so it helps to reduce that clutter as well. Okay, so there's a few other things that I do want to talk about, because we are coming into this new moon, but we're also coming into this new year. And it's so cute the way my phone is for the Instagram feed. You can see my pumpkin is like literally right above my head. I don't want to remove the light. You see my pumpkin? Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, but I've got this light thing going on here. All right, so I do want to talk about the new year. Okay, so this is coming into 2025. Okay, so we're finishing an 8-year. So 20 is 2, and 2 4. That's 2 and 4 is 6. Plus 2 is 8, so we're finishing an 8-year, which means we're coming into 2025 is a 9-year, which means we're going to be seeing a lot of completions. We're going to be seeing a lot of relationships are going to shift, jobs may shift, goals may shift, life, like our goals, not just like, I want to run 4 miles, but like, what is your life goal? And so there's going to be a lot of things that are shifting, and I think it's really important that we're looking at, because Friday is November, okay? So we're in October, but Friday is November. So it's really important that we understand we really have only 8 weeks and a smidgen left in the 2024 year. So we need to start paying attention to what do we want to do, like what is the goal for 2025? This is a 9-year. So what things, we're talking a lot right now about completion, right? As Pluto's moving into this Aquarius time and this time of completion and things we've been procrastinating, and cleaning the decks and clearing out clutter and really letting go of stuff that isn't in alignment, okay? We can take stuff and we can put it in a box and put it in the closet. It doesn't have to go to the trash heap necessarily, but it is a time of clearing out clutter, tying up loose ends, finishing things, because we're going to get into 2026 in a year and a bit, and that's going to be not just this completion, but also this real turnover of the new launch of into that year is going to be a 1 year, right? So it's not a 10-year, so it's a 1 year. So 2025 is our completion year. That's the 9-year, okay? So it's really important that we're taking some really good look, and I don't want to say a hard look, because we're not trying to look down our nose, we're not trying to look with judgment or anything like that, but it is really important that we are looking at what have we been afraid to look at or procrastinating or not looking at, and what things can we really take some time, set aside some time to get finished. So for me, just as an example, I just finished a neuro-linguistic programming certification and also a trauma, in my grief work, a trauma-infused counseling certification. So I'm very excited to have those that I can add to, my arsenal repertoire of information. Happy Monday. So these are classes that have been sitting, and how many of us have bought a class, an online class, and then it's sat, right? Very, very guilty here, very guilty. And so I have 2 more. One is astrology, which I may or may not choose to do. I haven't decided. And then the other is a Sonia Choquette class, and I love her. So, but both of those classes have been sitting. I literally can look at the tabs open on my computer right this minute that they've been sitting there. Oh, thank you. And so it is like deciding where are the priorities and what is going to be important to you, and what things can we let go of, or what things do we need to like put a little focus so we can get things completed. Those of you who saw my post for the weekend, I did put up some Halloween decorations. My little pumpkin. I did put up some Halloween decorations. I didn't do a ton this year because I also know that I'm leaving on Friday the 1st, so I didn't want to have to like take them down. And also we've had 2 hurricanes, and then there's like the weather service is looking at another thing in the Gulf that they think it might turn into something, and I'm like, I don't want to be putting up a whole bunch of Halloween decorations and I got to go out there and like take them all down because there's a hurricane coming. I mean, come on, it's going to be November. So, but I was happy that I did some. So anyway, let's do some collective cards. So this time of Pluto is really this. It's a house cleaning. Remember when we came into the pandemic and everything shut down and all of a sudden everybody was like Marie Kondo everything? Clean out your house, clean out your closet, clean out your drawers, clean out. And I will say that I really resisted that until for about 3 weeks, and finally I was like, it's kind of a good idea. So like that whole energy is what's going on, but in a more gentle, slow, bulldozy kind of Pluto way. Okay, remember those sandworms that we talked about. Okay, so this thing with Pluto is really pushing us to kind of, it's like, they just gave this to me. I'm so sorry I have to say this because it literally just came into my head. It is your energetic colonoscopy. There you go. Here's Pluto for you. All right, what do we need to know about what's going on this week? This is the Yang energy. That is hilarious because we have yin and yang. We have the masculine and the feminine. So this is the feminine energy, the yang, and this is really reminding us that we are supported, we are nurtured, we are being held by the universe, we are being we have all the power. So if you look at this is the sun, the lava ball just going blasting up. And so we have all the power that we need. We have all the power to take off. We have all of that inside of us and with us. And this is card number 1, as a matter of fact. So it is really like saying, hey, we're getting ready to embark on this new journey. This is a time we've got to let go of these things because we're ready to blast off. The universe is the launch pad, the hands, and we're ready to just like, we're ready to go. So if there's been things that you've been sitting on, this procrastination, if there's these things you've been sitting on, this is really this time that the Yang energy is saying, let's go. It is time for us to go. It is time to move forward. It is time for us to just, to let the universe lift us, launch us out into the world. Okay, now the second card looks like, well, what else do we need to know about this? Where can we have some bumps or hiccups we need to be aware of? And this is card number 25, and this is round and round. And so here we have into the sacred geometry, right? And so with the round and round, it says, okay, you might be ready to blast off, but don't forget, don't take your bad habits with you. Okay, don't take the those things that have gotten you into trouble in the past. Don't take those things with you. We are if we're keeping it is. Don't take those things that have been holding you back with you, okay? Because we keep coming back to those same places, right? And this is about being honest with ourselves. It's also about having communication with ourselves and with others. But this is so much about saying, okay, if we're getting ready to like launch into this new space and to have this new whatever, we're finishing projects, we're getting into new projects, we're getting things cleaned up, tidied up so that we are ready to go for the new year, which is that 9 year, then we got to make sure that we are not taking bad habits with us. We got to make sure we're not taking bad, not bad, but poor habits. We want to make sure we're not taking ineffective habits with us. We want to make sure that we're also not taking with us things that are burdens or things we don't have to carry. We don't need to carry those things anymore. We want to make sure that we are clean, ready to go. So the sacred geometry with this round and round, it also reminds us, like, as we're like looking at what to take, what to not take, what to let go of, where are we moving forward, what projects, whatever, it reminds us to take a second and go, hey, check out behind you and see how far you've come. Make sure you're giving yourself those props, right? To be like, all right, well, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I'm sure as heck not where I was. And that is really important because especially we don't do that a lot, right? We don't, I don't know what part was the LOL. Oh, the colonoscopy. I bet it was the colonoscopy. So we don't do that enough where we say like, well, I might not be at the finish line and I might not have finished all of my projects and I might not have finished this or that and I might not be able to run 4 miles today, but I did a really solid 2.89 today in a personal best time frame. And, so I'm not where I was when I was running this morning. I was like, I remember even just in June, I did 3 miles in 50 minutes, and this morning I did just shy of 3 miles in under 40 minutes. That's a huge improvement. So remember that as we're looking at the round and round, we want to make sure we're packing accordingly, that we're only taking what we need to go forward. We're not taking all the luggage that we've accumulated in the last, one of the things that happens, and that we're taking the time to like look back and go, that was a good job. You did good. Look how far you've come. So we forget to applaud ourselves. So one of the things that happens when you have a major hurricane that is heading your way, and I want to be very clear, Milton came right over our house. Well, one of the things that happens when you have a major hurricane, and thankfully we are not in an evacuation place and we're not in a flood place and our house is very strong and all of those wonderful things. But let me see what happens when you are preparing for a major storm, because we've been through a crap ton of them. We moved back here in 04 and had 5 hurricanes that year. So you look around your house, and one of the things that they tell you to do for insurance purposes is to walk through your house and take pictures of everything. But one of the things that you really want to make sure you know to do is you open all the drawers and the cupboards, which seems crazy, but you want to open your drawers and cupboards when you are going through and taking pictures of your house. Because what happens is if you don't have a picture of it, insurance won't pay for it, first of all. Second of all, if you don't have a picture of it, you might not remember exactly what was in that drawer. So, you could probably say, like, oh, I know pretty much what's in that drawer. Like, that has the forks and knives and spoons and whatever. Like, but what else is in that drawer? And so if you can't have a picture of it, you're not going to remember to claim you need another one, or you're not going to be able to say insurance, hey, help me replace this. Now, that's one thing that happens, okay? The other thing that happens when you're preparing for a big storm, and I'm not talking about outside stuff, okay? I'm talking about inside in the house, is you start to look around your house, and you start to look around a house and go, if we had to evacuate, or if we had to, like, put stuff in a safe room, what room would that be? And what would we put in there? Besides us. Because in this particular storm with Milton, there was so many tornadoes, which is unusual. It's not unusual for a hurricane, but it's unusual that we got that part of the storm. And there were so many tornadoes, and we were very lucky that that part of the storm did not come right where we were, but a lot of places like to the south and the east of us really had problems with that. So where is your safe room, okay, which is not really relevant to this, but what would you put in there? So if you had to evacuate your house very quickly, what things would be the most important for you to take with you, okay? So we start to think about these things. And the reason I'm saying this to you is as we are going through to the end of this calendar year, and as Pluto is coming through with that, spiritual energetic colonoscopy, what things are going to be important for you to take with you? And what things can you let go of? Like, well, shit, if the, storm damaged my house and that got destroyed, how upset would I be? Okay, this is a candle that sits on my desk that it super smells delicious, and my girlfriend, it says champagne toast. My girlfriend gave it to me for my 50th birthday. It smells so beautiful. I don't burn it very often. It might not have been 50. It might have been different. Anyway, my girlfriend who I love, Brenda, gave this to me for my birthday. And I love it. It smells so beautiful, so I don't burn it that much because I love how it smells, but I don't want to, I don't want to use it all up, but I do use it. But if I lost this candle because of a hurricane, I would not be the end of the world. And I love Brenda, and I know that she could, find me another one. And it's not the end of the world. It's actually, that's a really good reason for me to burn a candle, because she can get me another one. Or at least tell me where to get one. We create this meaning for these things that we hold on to, whether it's energetic, spiritual, relationships, projects, guilt, feelings of anger, of not enoughness, of feelings of inadequacy. We hold on to these things. And so ask yourself, if a hurricane was coming and you thought your house was in danger, your house was in danger, what would be super important for you to save? people, projects, relationships, what things would you not worry so much about? Okay, so as you're looking around your spiritual house, what things are going to be important to you as we are finishing this year and as we're moving into the new year? Okay, so this is what they're talking about right now, that it is going to be time for this new relaunch right now. And Pluto is slow moving, so Pluto is going to be in this sign of, I believe it's Aquarius, for a while. Okay, so we're not in a rush of Pluto, but we do want to get this right, and we do want to make sure that we've got all of our stuff like in the, you know, sorted for the end of this year and coming into the new year. Hi Alice, welcome, welcome. So, all right, so then the last card is, so we have our first card, which is like what's going on we need to know about, okay? And then it's like, well, where are the things that we need to be aware of? What are those hiccups that we need to be aware of? Okay, and so what else do we need to know to like make sure we are ready for all of this? And so this comes in upside down. This is the chop wood card, okay? And chop wood is 42. So 4 and 2 is 6. So again, over the hump of the, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we start to come down. So we know that we're coming into the completion side. We're coming over the hump, right? But chop wood, this card is upside down. And chop wood reminds us that we've got to stay in our lane, right? We've got to do our own work. We've got to make sure that we are not doing the work for somebody else, okay? And we're not talking about we don't help. We're not talking about, you know, we had the hurricane, we had our neighbors, we're like, what do you need? Do you have a chainsaw? Do you need help? Whatever. Like, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? We always are helping, but we're not doing the work for someone so such that we are depriving them of the experience that they came here to have to learn that thing for themselves. Okay, so what do I mean? If you see that your friend or loved one or somebody is struggling with an issue and you know the answer to the question and you know how to solve the thing for them, you do not empower them by coming in there, rolling up your sleeves and saying, I got this, I'm going to fix this, we're going to just get this taken care of. Now, if someone's in danger, domestic violence, you know, flood, something, okay, we might, you know, jump in there and get in there to help, okay? Of course. But what I'm talking about is, you know, your friend comes to you, hi, Jenny, your friend comes to you and says, oh, you know, I'm, you know, relationship trouble, money trouble, blah, 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 and you've heard this song before. And you can see the places where you might, like, make a different choice. If you jump in there and start lecturing them, they're going to just turn it out, right? But if you get in there and start fixing everything, they're not going to learn. And you are depriving them of the opportunities that they came here to have, you know, those experiences to be able to learn for themselves. So chop wood reminds us to stay in our lane and to do our work. But when we have somebody who needs help, like legit help, we are absolutely there to help if we can. And at the same time, we're not doing it for them. We are doing with them. And remember the 3 questions, right? Is this your problem, conundrum, situation, whatever? Do you have the power to fix it? And the important one, well, they're all important, but did anybody ask you to fix it? Okay? Because otherwise, you're just coming in and being nosy, right? You're just being a bulldozer into someone else's stuff. So what we say is, I am so sorry you're having to go through this. I believe that you have the ability to handle this, and I am praying for you, and I am here if there is something I can do for you, but I am, you know, I'm right with you. I know you can do this, okay? Now, we don't say, oh, I know what to do. Get out of the way. Let me do it for you, okay? And so this is what chop wood is reminding us, because sometimes we who come together as people of the light, we can see things from a different perspective, and that can put us in the position of wanting to be fixers. And that is not our job. And so chop wood reminds us we've got our own stuff to do. You have your own projects and things that need to get done and get prepared and get ready, that it's really important that you're keeping your eye on your own ball and that you are staying in your lane, which is not mean that we're turning our back on someone who needs help, but we're also making sure where the priorities are. Okay, and we're not fixing it for them. And as Chris has put, you've got to get your poop in a group. Okay, you got to get your poop in a group. So this launch time is coming. This is the time for us to come into new places, new positions, new journeys, new adventures. This is coming for us to really, like, this spiritual colonoscopy right now that we've been talking about. This is the time for you to be getting ready, because the time for our liftoff is coming. But that only we've got to make sure that we pack accordingly, so that we're looking around our spiritual house and we're taking with us the things that cannot be replaced, the things that we really have to take with us. Make sure that we're taking, those things that are the mementos, the medications, whatever, that we're taking those things with us that we really can't live without, spiritually and energetically, but we're leaving the rest behind, right? We're no longer ready, we're no longer committing to carry the things we don't need to carry anymore. And then at the same time, we're not packing for others. We're letting them make their own decisions, which means if your 8-year-old wants to pack 17 pairs of shoes, that's on them. And I know I'm really sliding back and forth between the physical world and the spiritual world, but I'm hoping you're following the analogies here. All right. Thank you, Chris, for explaining. All right, so then we're going to now we'll do some individual card readings. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, everyone's got their ready for their spiritual colonoscopies. I don't know why that just came right into my head so loudly, and I know I have loved ones in spirit with real senses of humor and potty humors. So we'll do the individual cards now. So absolutely. All right, we're gonna start over on. I see Alice. I see Belinda. We're gonna start over on Instagram today. We'll start there first. We'll do a card for Fatima, who's over on Instagram today. And remember, you don't have to tell me your question. You do want to have your question in your mind. And if you want a card reading, it's really important that you put some kind of comment somewhere, so that I know that I have energetically been given permission to come into your energy. And what I love about the cards is they're what I call as our spiritual eavesdroppers. So once we've had all these things that we've talked about, I know that the cards are going to come and talk to us about some of the things we've already said. Okay, so for Miss Fatima, so this card says Loyal Heart. This is card 35, so 3 and 5 is 8, which is in a real alignment of where we are right now, because we're in an 8-year right now. Okay, but this loyal heart is reminding you of who you can trust, and to trust in those that are around you who have earned that trust, that you don't have to carry everything yourself. And that this also reminds you that it's important to be loyal to yourself, but to be loyal to spirit, to be loyal to your higher guidance, and to trust in the universe. And this kind of goes back to that Yang card that we saw, that the universe is holding us, the universe has got us. But you can see in this loyal heart card that this is reminding you that you have the love and support of the whole world. The universe that's here is supporting you, that you are sitting on that space in the universe, and that you have people and entities around you that you can trust and lean into, and to just remember that you don't have to carry everything yourself, and that you are on the right path, because you're being on a path that is guided and being supported. Okay, so hopefully that is information that is helpful for you. So, all right, if you've already put in the comments, you only need to do it once, so I can, okay, so we're going to do Alice and Belinda and Lynette, and it is a beautiful card, Fatima. I'm so glad. I love that card. I just think the colors on it are so beautiful also. So, all right, so we've got Alice Gugarty, who is new for us this day, so that's exciting. You're okay, don't worry about it, it's all okay. And we're doing individuals. Everyone is okay. You all are, y'all, I appreciate everyone, but it feels like there's some sort of panic going along in the comments over here, so we are okay. Everyone is okay. So Alice, this card, it comes in also upside down. This is a message in a bottle card. This is 15. So this 1 and 5 is 6, which means you're coming into like this time of, we look at the hero's journey, right? Got Simba's climbing the mountain. He's gone through the battle. He's climbing up the mountain, but he's still got some hurdles to like make sure to get the kingdom back from his uncle. And so, yes, Lion King references. So you have this message in a bottle card, but this card was upside down. So 15, 1 and 5 is 6. So it says that you're on the other side of the biggest hurdles that you have, but there's still some things that you've got to get through and some things to get taken care of before you can wrap up these loose ends. But the card was in upside down, and so when the message in the bottle comes in, it says that there's something you're not listening to. You're not getting the message. You're not hearing what the universe is trying to say to you. Because if you look at the card, you can see that there's, the message is inside the bottle. You've got the little fish turtle that's in there, and you've got the pelican that is holding on to the spyglass there, that can see, and he's trying to look into the message, into the bottle, and be like, hello, hello, we're not listening. And so, Alice, the universe is trying to say to you, we have something for you, but you're not ready to listen, or you're choosing not to listen, or you're just not noticing it. And so that's when it comes in upside down, it's really important to understand, because what you'll notice with this thing is the water is calm, right? The water is calm. There's some, sea stuff. There's no waves. This is not a storm. It's a beautiful sunny day. And so this tells us, Alice, that everything is okay, but it's important that we remember we're not here by ourselves, okay? We're not here by ourselves. We're not with, we didn't come here to live a solitary life. Like the card that was right before, the loyal heart, we have those around us who can love us and support us and who are here on the path with us. But it's important that we're paying attention, and you look that we have the little turtle is inside the card, is inside the bottle, and you have the pelican who's like, hey, I've got this message. Let's look through the spyglass, and let's look so we can go forward together, okay? So somebody around you, Alice, is trying to get your attention, whether that's somebody here on the earth plane or somebody in spirit, that's like, hey, we want to do a little bit of a course correction. We want to go forward together. So let's see if we can come into harmony and co-creation so that we can move forward in a better way, okay? So Alice, it feels like you've come through a lot of the rough stuff already, but that there's still a few things that have got to be like tied up in those loose ends. But I feel like you have been very accustomed to, I got to get this all taken care of, and it's all up on me. That now that you're coming to the other side of it, that their spirit is trying to say to you, like, hey, we've got you too. Like, we're here with you. You're not doing this alone. Okay? So just maybe take some quiet time, and to be able to look at things and say, okay, what am I missing? Where's the universe trying to turn my head to see? And so that you can really get some clarity. But also, when those things pop into your head afterwards, when you get that information in your head, what do we do immediately, right? We get these things from the universe, and immediately we're like, no, that can't be right? That can't be right. And so this is really important that they're saying to you, like, hey, let's take some time so we can get clear, and we can give you this information, and let's not discount it, okay? All right. So let's go to Belinda, and then Lynette and Ellen. All right, Belinda. All right, Belinda, this is co-create. It also comes in upside down. So this is card 40. So this is 4. So I love 4. It's one of my favorite numbers, right? Because we have that 4 legs of the chair, 4 legs of the table. That is tells us we are being supported and it's solid. And so Belinda, this is reminding you that you have something inside of you that you want to create, that is this time for that launch, right? With that Yang card we had, that's ready to come out. It's ready for you to go forward, Belinda. But this card, when you see it upside down, this co-create card, it's again as if you're trying to do it all yourself, or you're not listening to. So it's very similar to the message we just had with message in a bottle, that you're being a little bit stubborn, and it's not a judgment thing, but we're just not paying attention to what the universe is trying to show us, because you have all the potential here, down here. You have the wisdom of the owl, you have the speed and the strength of the cheetah, you have the calm skies, you are ready to leap off the cliff to move forward. But this is, and you have all the support from that 4 number, right? You have all the support of the universe. But they're like, hey, you don't have to carry this by yourself. You don't have to do all of it yourself. Okay, Belinda, they're trying to tell you that they're with you. You have support with you for the journey, okay? So that's really important. All right, so we're going to do Lynette. You are welcome, Alice. You're welcome. I hope that makes sense for you. All right, Lynette. Also upside down, a lot of upside down cards today. So this is card 44, Lynette. So 4 and 4 is 8. So we have, Belinda, we can all be stubborn. Sometimes the universe is going to call us out about it. So Lynette, this is the thinker card. So 44, 4 and 4 is 8. And so we have the infinity with the 8 card, right? But this also is upside down. And so this is reminding you not to overthink things. This is reminding you that it is safe for you to go forward. It is safe for you to to be able to move forward, to trust yourself. But again, you're not in it alone, and that you are not having to know every single thing that's going to happen along the way in order for you to move forward. Okay, so if you're waiting and thinking for all those lights to be green, it's not ever going to happen, and you're going to miss some really amazing things. So the thinker is saying it's okay, you just have to think of what to do next, and then trust that the universe is going to be supporting you with that 8 number, that you're going to be able to go forward in a strong and solid way. So Lynette, this is one of those cards that very politely says, hey, get off your butt and get in the game. Okay, so don't feel like you have to know all the answers in order to get started. This is a reminder that it's more important to just get started. Okay, all right, so that is for Lynette. We're going to have Ellen. And then after Ellen, we're going to have Janie. All right, so we have Ellen. Ellen, oh, another upside down. So this is 28, so 2 and 8 is 10. So it's really 1. So you have a completion, but also a beginning. And so this is the building blocks. But this card was also upside down. And so, Ellen, this is reminding you that you've got to do things the right way. You've got to make sure you get your ducks in the row. You got to get, as Chris was saying, your poops in the groups. So that there's things for you to still do to bring everything together, so that even though this is an 8 and a 2, this is a completion card. It's also a new beginning card. So the things that you're wrapping up and finishing, you are going to want to bring that knowledge and wisdom and expertise to bring it forward so that you can build a strong foundation. So right now, this foundation is not ready to hold the weight of the next adventure. It's not finished yet. And so this is reminding you that there's still things for us to do. And this is about, it's also about our wellness journey, like our spiritual growth. And so we all are still growing. I mean, ain't none of us finished, right? But so Ellen, this is reminding you that whatever it is that you are finishing up right now, that you're going to take that as building blocks into the next phase for yourself. And that we don't want to discount that. We don't want to discount all the things that we've already learned and all the things we've already accomplished, right? Remember, we said we want to give ourselves that pat on the back. But Ellen, there's a new adventure that's coming, and you're going to take those experiences with you into the new space, and that is going to help to build you, help you to build that strong foundation of where you are going in the next cycle. So whether that's your Pluto cycle, that's the next calendar year cycle, or it could just be the next moon cycle, that this is a time of transition for you, but it's a smooth transition of finishing one thing and moving into the next thing, taking what you've learned with you to help build the foundation of the next thing. So hopefully that makes sense for Ellen. And then we have Janie. All right. Thank you for sharing, Catherine. I'm so glad it helped for Alice. And Lynette, I'm so glad that helps for you as well. Ellen, you are 100% welcome. Hooray. All right, let's see. Where did I just leave off? Janie. Okay. And then Janie dropped your phone. You're all okay. Everybody's okay. Janie. All right. So this card says peace. This is 23. This is 2 and 3 is 5. So almost there, halfway in the journey. So this card is peace, Janie, and this is, where'd you go? Okay, this is peace, but it also was in the upside down space. But so this card reminds you that everything is okay. And this is really important because right now, we're a week out from the American election, and people are, kind of like, blah, a little bit. So this card reminds you that everything is okay, but that it also reminds us that we want to have acceptance, especially when this card's upside down. We want to have acceptance for what is, okay? So we want to remember that peace begins, I love that Christmas song, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. So peace begins within us. Our peace begins with us, okay? And so it is a choice for us to either get all wrapped up in whatever it is that is going on anywhere in the world and go, or to say, okay, I do not have control over a lot of these situations, but I do have control over how I react to these things. And so this is my choice. And so this is a reminder that look how beautiful this is. You've got the egg of possibility, potential. This is everything that can possibly go right in the world. In this beautiful green meadow, looking out over the fields, it feels very Sound of Music in this image. You've got the clouds and you've got the birds flying, but notice the flags are not really going crazy. So it's not super windy, which means it's not very tumultuous. You've got a little bit of a wiggle, a little wind, a little breeze, but it is not like, okay. So this is reminding us that everything is okay, regardless of what happens in the election, regardless what happens in, the Middle East, regardless of, we are okay. Like for this moment of where we are right now, we are okay. And when we can hold on to that, we then radiate that, right? We talked last week about having the love and radiating that out. We have that, and then we are radiating that out into others. We bounce that off of somebody else. It comes back to us, and it helps to solidify and expand that love energy within ourselves. So if you are feeling right now a little bit of like, blah, the thing I would tell you to do to turn this little thing upside down is who can you go and love on, okay? So if you're feeling a little not quite so settled and not so peaceful right now, who do you have around you that you could give some extra love to? Because that's going to cavitate back to you and help you feel much more settled and secure, okay? So this reminder from the cards is that you are okay. So everything that's going on in the world, there's always going to be something going on in the world. I mean, there just is. But we're okay. You're okay. All right. So hopefully that is helpful. Hello, Kimmy Smith, Tracy, Chris. Yes, Kimmy. Okay. It's my concern is for my granddaughter. That makes good sense. Okay. Awesome. Well, we're all going to just send some love to Janie's granddaughter. And we're going to remember that she's on the path that she came here to be on, and that is not an easy spot where we see people that we love, that we want to help and protect and lift and all of those things, and we can't do it for them, and that is super hard. So we just send that love, and then it comes back to us, and then we cavitate in a loving way, and we expand love out to everyone else that gets to come around of us. So that's a good thing. All right, so we have Tracy. All right, for Tracy and Chris. All right, so Tracy, this card is not for you. Well, the card is for you, but the message on the card is not for you. So this card is number 6, and so this reminds us to stay in our lane. Okay, Tracy, this makes sure that you to trust that what is meant for you is going to come to you. What is meant for you is not going to pass you by. But you don't have to chase it down. You don't have to run after it with the car. Trust that everything that is meant for you, for your highest good and benefit, is coming to you. Okay, Tracy, this also is a faith card. This is a trust card that says you do not have to panic about, is it going to work out? Is it going to work out? Is it going to work out? Okay, and there's a real theme between the cards today, right? Are you all seeing that? So Tracy, this reminds you that you also are okay, but the things that are meant to come to your path, that are coming to you, that you have manifested and worked in co-creation with the universe, and the things that are coming, that you have asked for, are coming to you in their time. You don't have to stress about, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Okay, so this reminds you that you're okay. And this reminds you also that the stuff that is not, that's going by you, you don't have to worry that the thing went by you. Like you see that car speeding on by, that's not for me. I don't need to worry about that. I do not need to worry about that. This card reminds us to stay in our lane. And I want you to look at it. Look, it's beautiful. It's pink and it's blue and pastels, and it's got the fortune cookie, and it's just this beautiful, sweet picture. But look at this beautiful hand that is holding it up, that everything is okay. This is not a broken fortune cookie. This is a solid fortune cookie. And everything is okay in these beautiful, calm pastel colors. It's like, we've got you. It's all right. What's yours? We're bringing it right to your door. You don't have to come and get it. We've got you. Okay? All right. So Krista would like to have a card about priorities. Okay? And then Kimmy Smith. And Alice is going through a lot. We're going to send some loving energy out to Alice as well. We send loving energy out to all of you. So that's one of my favorite parts. So, all right, so we've got, for Miss Chris, about priorities. Okay, so this is a leg up. This is card 34. This is, so 3 and 4 is 7. So this is a leg up, but it also comes in upside down. I love it's got the cute polar bears on it. Look how cute it is. So, and the leg up reminds us that where is it? I can get it where it's, there you go. So leg up reminds us, again, that we're not have to do it alone, that we... the leg up card reminds us that we don't have to do it alone, but it also reminds us that we have leaned into others to get where we are, and that it is okay to fake it till you make it. It is okay for you to lean into those relationships, that you have leaned on others to get up to where you are, and that it's okay to keep leaning on others. It's okay for you to be able to... it is okay for you to give yourself permission, thank you, to give yourself permission instead of having this feeling like you have to do everything all on your own, to accept the help from others and to know that this people who are offering to help are giving it from a place of love and a desire to help and to help you grow, so that you're not taking something, you're not diminished by receiving help from others. That we've all gotten a leg up from someone somewhere to get where we are, and that's how we get where we're going. And so this is a collaboration. And so I would say, as you're looking at your priorities, to look around and say, okay, where are my collaborative efforts? Where are the things that are feeding me, that are bringing the most energy, that are going to be the most productive, the things that are most exciting to me, the things that are making me feel like, okay, I want to get in on this, I want to get in on that, and let those things charge up the energy, because those are places where you're going to be able to give back and give a leg up to someone else. And then those things that are maybe a little bit harder, a little more draining, you're going to be able to feed off of that. When you are feeling electrified and energized, you are giving your energy to others. And when you are not, you are pulling have a well to draw on. Chris, remember we used to say in Mary Kay meetings, we would say, if you've had a great week, you want to come to the meeting and tell everyone all about it. And if you've had a negative week or a hard week, then you want to come in there so that you can get yourself all charged back up again. It's that same kind of an idea. Those things that are making you feel energized, you want to jump in there and get those things done. Sometimes we want to do the easiest thing first, because we need to be like, whew, I got me a win today. I got something off that, I checked that off the list. And so that's going to be the thing that's energizing us and giving us that leg up to go and to do the next thing. So that's how I would look at as the priorities that we're looking at, of like, what do I need to do first? Look at the thing, where can you get an easy win? Where can you get that leg up? And then you be able to have that energy, whirring, that you can then turn that into more productivity or being able to give a leg up to somebody else. Okay? All right, so we're going to do Kimmy. You are welcome, Miss Tracy. Ooh, I got a couple of brilliants today. I'm not brilliant, they're brilliant. So, all right, so let's see, where was I? We did Chris, and then I lost my comments. There we go. Okay, Kimmy. Okay, Kimmy and Catherine. Okay, Kimmy. So, Kimmy, this is the blessed card. Love that card, but it comes in upside down. Dun, dun, dun. Everything has been upside down today, right? So this is the blessed card. So this reminds us that you're still loved, you're still blessed. There's a lot of blessings that are going on, even if we can't, even if it doesn't look like it's a blessing for this minute, right? Because love, blessing, gratitude, all these things come in a lot of different forms. So you're still flying through the universe. You are still sailing on this beautiful pink snail shell. Look at her. She's not freaking out. She's like having her zen. She's got her little prayer hands going, and she's just looking up and looking forward, chin up, posture's good. She is ready to take on whatever is next. So even when things feel hard, remember that they're not happening to you, they're happening for you, and that the universe is like shuffling stuff around to help put you into position where you can just sail on through. So if it feels like you're not sailing right now, that is okay. The things are being set up for you. That foundation is being put together. The little ducks are being moved around and to be in their right row so that you're able to go forward swimmingly. This is card 22. 22, 2 and 2 means 4, which means we're being lovingly carried and supported by the universe, by the angels, guides, spirit, loved ones, whoever all you want to talk to, your higher power, and so that you are being set up for success. Okay, so even if it feels a little rocky right now, this is just a time of pruning and reorganizing, but you are being set up for your success. So trust it. Okay, All right, so we have Catherine. And then Kimmy says it makes perfect sense. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, Catherine. So this is mending, also upside down. So this is mending. This is card 52, so 5 and 2 is 7. So mending, this is talking about relationships. This is talking about, it's also mending our relationship with spirit. It's not just mending our relationship with others. It can be about mending our relationship with spirit. But we're not making, it's about not making assumptions about others. And it's asking, do we need to be right? Or do we need to have peace? Okay, so we have the mending card that comes in, and you see these beautiful little girls. They're sitting out in the meadow, and they're stringing little flags together, and they're trying to, create. And these are fairies. I'm sorry, these are fairies. And so they have their beautiful wings. So they're trying to create peace. And so when we get the mending card that's upside down, we have to stop and ask ourselves this question. It's like, well, do I rather be right? Do I rather be the one to get in there and like push everyone out of the way to fix the problem because I know how to fix it and I'm the only one who can fix it? Or would I rather just let people live their lives, and do I want to have peace or do I want to be right? And so it's really hard because especially when it's our who was talking about their granddaughter, Janie was talking about her granddaughter. It's super hard. Like I've got 20, my kids are in their 20s, and I look at them, and there are some days I look at them and I'm like, wow, you guys are adulting really good. And then there's other days and I'm huh? What'd you do? Why did you do that? and that's okay. But so we're asking, like, do I need to be involved in that, or is this an opportunity for the other person to figure some stuff out and grow? Okay, so you might have been around a little while ago. I was talking about this huge fight that I had with my mom, and it got to this part where I was just like, she wanted to have peace, but she was like trying to sweep things under the rug. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to be able. This is just going to come right back around if we don't deal with some of this stuff. And I said, I understand you want to just move forward and forget all this ever happened, and that's really great. But here's 3 things that we really need to like acknowledge so that we can move forward. And at that point, I was like, now we can just whatever happens after that, because I did what I could do, and then like the rest is like, all right, do I want to have a relationship? Like, I still want to have a good relationship with my mom? So we have to make those choices of like, how far can we go to fix something, or can we just let it go in order to let it be? Like, the Beatles song, "Let It Be, Let It Be, Let It Be." Okay, so that is for Catherine. That is not an easy card, my friend. That is not an easy card. So I want to tell you to like stand in the grass, take some breaths, and remember that people come here for their own journeys. You came here for your journey, and part of the journey that we all are on is that we came for a lot of reasons, but part of the reason that we all are here is because we all wanted to experience this. We came here at this time, in this place, in this incarnation, because we wanted to experience this. So whatever that is, we all came here for it. So, if it's not, turning out the way you wanted, remember that that's part of the plan, okay? That's not you being punished that you did something wrong. That was part of the plan, okay? So that helps us to be like, well, what is it I came here to learn with this, mud that I'm wandering through right now, and how can I learn it faster so I can get back to the beach, right? So we take that time and we ask those questions. All right, so we had... I feel like there was somebody else. Who did I miss? I don't want to miss. I feel like there was one more person. Beth. There it was. I knew there was one more person that was in there. So, thank you. Y'all are so sweet today. Beth Boyd. Card for Beth. All right. So we have Beth. I think this card's so pretty. This is exchanging gifts. It is also upside down. So exchanging gifts is card 27. So 7 and 2 is 9. So we're coming to the end of a chapter, Miss Beth. And exchanging gifts reminds us that you have something beautiful and brilliant and wonderful to bring to the table. Okay? So this reminds you not to dim your light, hide your light under a bushel, right? That there is value in every opportunity. There's value in the things that you bring to the table. There's value in the things that others are bringing to the table. That it is, things are not one-sided. This has been a real, I feel like there's a real through line today. But Beth, this reminds you that you have value and that you have a lot to bring to the table, but to remember that others do too, and that we are here to interact. None of us came here in this incarnation to live in a cave and be a hermit. We came here to connect with others. We came here to learn. We came here to be in interaction with people in co-creation and collaboration. And we do that by exchanging our gifts. And I have never known Beth to not be this way. And so I think that this card comes in upside down as just a gentle reminder that you have so much value to bring to the table, and don't let somebody else try to dim your light or cause you to dim your light, because I don't ever know Beth to be a person who is selfish or like only me, me, me. This is, I feel like this is more of a reminder that you just take your space, to stand up and take your space, and remember, sometimes we just need to be reminded that we rock. I mean, y'all are amazing human beings, and I am so grateful and privileged that you choose to spend time with me on a Monday afternoon. And so sometimes we just need to be reminded that we still are crushing it. And so Beth, this is just a reminder that, you know, we are exchanging gifts because you have a lot to offer, and don't let somebody else create the space where you feel like you need to take your gifts and go, because you have so many gifts to bring to the table and that are worth sharing and worth hearing about. So if there's somebody around you that is wanting to be right more than they want peace, and you just remember that that's a gift that they bring to the table. And the gift that you can bring is saying, okay, well, how much do I choose to engage in this? So, okay, I want to share the Build Your Business class. I should have shared this at the beginning, but that's okay. We have the Build Your Business class for the Journey Within Spiritualist Church is happening on the second Tuesday of November. You are welcome, my friend. I hope that makes sense for you. It's on the second, third, and fourth Tuesdays of November. The link is, if you look at the pinned posts on the page, you can see the video, you can see the link to sign up at Journey Within. This is a great class. This is, if you are a light worker or spirit person, reader, massage therapist, anybody with a small business, you've been trying to start your small business, you're not sure how to go about it. This is not about launching a mega corporation. This is about starting your small business, and this is the class for you. So this is a really great opportunity for us to have three sessions together. We're going to go over everything from A to Z about getting you out there and building your business, and give you some real tips, real world knowledge. And this is an expanded class. This is going to be the opportunity for us to have a little bit more Q&A than we had last time. And this is a really fantastic opportunity for us to connect. So if you have been thinking about starting your business, whatever it is, this is the class you do not want to miss. And this is also a fundraiser, as always, for the Journey Within Spiritualist National Church in New Jersey. And what else do I need to tell you? There's going to be so much more great stuff that's coming. So after this class launches, there's going to be more, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to I feel like there's something else I was supposed to tell you, but it'll come to me and I'll post about it. So thank you so much for choosing to spend some time today. I'm always so honored that you choose to take some time out of your day to spend with me, and always want you to remember you are loved. And I will see you next week. Mwah. Have a great week. You got this.